Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At cprfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at cprfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on this lovely evening. It is January the 2nd, Thursday. We're going to talk about the illegal migrant that created a horrible, horrible crime scene in New York City. And we didn't get a chance to touch on that. We're also going to talk about how the Biden administration and their mass, illegal immigration policy, open border policy, has helped create 18% increase in homelessness in the United States of America while they're about to leave office and go to their, luxury homes and with walls and all the nice money and chefs and everything that they have. The rest of society will be dealing with this problem for a very, very long time. So we'll be getting to that tonight, and also what it's costing the taxpayers in New York for dealing with the migrant crisis at the same time. So we'll get to all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Also, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we announced yesterday on the first stream, is that on Fridays, we're going to do our live streams on the app. So make sure that you check out the live streams that I will present on Friday on the app. Now, these are the streams that we can't really discuss on YouTube. Clips we can't show on YouTube. Certain things we can't discuss on YouTube. That's what those streams are about. That's what the app is completely about. Of course, we'll post where we post here on the app, of course. But the point of having that is to have conversations that we can't have on these platforms. We're not going to be arguing with any platform about their rules. It's their rules, it's their platform. If it gets to the point where we got enough people on the app and say, hey, we spend way more time on the app than here, because we can say whatever we want, we can show whatever we want, right? So if you're interested in checking out that stream presented, by me tomorrow, You can download the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Once you do that, hit create account. You can do monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Let's start off the year right. I always say I like to get 10 members every stream. That'll be beautiful because we want to hit our goal of 10,000 this year. So thank you in advance for joining us on the app. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you all coming in, Keisha says 2025 already started off with a bang. Oh, yes, it has. But that's okay. I believe, as I said before, the news cycle will be very interesting this time around. We're not going to take too long tonight in getting into it. Let's go ahead on and check out something Trump said. And you should never forget this. It won't be long, but let's go ahead and cue this up.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
All right. Trump is 100% correct that FBAs built America. We are a massive part of this nation. These people did not build this nation on their own. They didn't pick their own cotton. They didn't build their own plantations. They didn't do anything. Okay. We built America. If we would not have built America, this country would not be in existence, because you have to understand the history is that when they tried to come over here on their own, within a year, they were cannibalizing each other. Okay. They could not survive. They did not get nothing going on in this land until we got involved with it. It's just that simple. That's why I can't listen to any talk from them talking about how smart they are and how superior, because if you were so smart, then you would have foresight. If you have foresight, then you would foresee that people you're bringing over here do all the work for free for 250 years. Eventually, you would have a problem with those people, right? So you would do the work yourself or get your brethren to come do the work. You understand? But the rest is history. The rest is history. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started and talk about this horrible incident that happened in New York City. We know New York City is a sanctuary city. And we know that Mayor Eric Adams is, wanting to work with the border czar, Tom Homan, which is good. We would like Mayor Brandon Johnson to get on that same tip, but he's still holding the Democrat water. He's still holding on to that, ladies and gentlemen. He haven't let that go as of yet. Hopefully Brandon Johnson sees the light, this year in 2025. I hope he do. Because Brandon Johnson needs to look out for the people of Chicago, not looking out for, foreign nationals who decided to run from their homeland, who passed many Latin American countries who are actually pretty stable and decided not to go there, but want to come up here because they're doing this because let's call it what it is. People are spoiled. America has a lot of people spoiled. They can do whatever they want to do. You understand? And it's our government that's allowing it to happen, because our government, along with the business class, or I would say the rich business class, they want cheap labor. So it's an ecosystem in itself. The rich business class put all the money behind the political campaigns. And then what they do, they turn a blind eye where they're hiring people who are, illegal in the country. And it's going to take the middle class, the working class, and also the poor to say, wait a minute, hold on. Y'all not going to be getting away with this. And we can easily stop these politicians from doing it by mobilizing and voting certain people out who's so pro-immigration. Understand? Because the business class, one thing they don't want to do is have all of American society turn against them, because way more of us than it is them, right? All right. So let's go on and check out the first clip I want to show y'all out of New York. And This is crazy. This is crazy. But remember, this is the doing of the Biden-Harris administration. Let's go ahead and cue this up.
Sebastian Zapeta, accused of setting a woman on fire inside a subway and killing her, indicted on 4 counts of murder and 1 count of arson.
This was a malicious deed, a sleeping vulnerable woman on our subway system.
Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez announcing the grand jury indictment against 33-year-old Zapeta, who waived his appearance in court this morning.
Murder in the first degree carries the possibility of life without parole. It's the most serious statute in New York State law, and my office is very confident about the evidence in this case and our ability to hold Zapeta accountable.
Prosecutors say on Sunday, Zapeta allegedly approached a woman who was sleeping at the end of a subway train car, then used a lighter to set her on fire and allegedly fanned the flames with a T-shirt. He was arrested later that day. Gonzalez says police and the medical examiner are still working to identify the victim, who they believe was homeless, but some progress has been made.
Her body was badly burned, and so advanced fingerprinting efforts are being made, as well as advanced DNA evidence to identify her.
Federal immigration officials say Zapeta was deported in 2018, then re-entered the U.S. illegally. During his court appearance Tuesday, prosecutors revealed he allegedly told detectives he drinks a lot of liquor and does not know what happened. Zapeta's roommate at a men's shelter in East New York, Brooklyn, told News 4 he never showed signs of violence, but would occasionally zone out.
A little awkward, but he was a nice guy. When he talked to you, he'd be talking to you like this to here. Space off, like, you know how I'm still talking to you, then he'll come back to you.
Meanwhile, a City Hall spokesperson said in a statement, Mayor Eric Adams asked the NYPD to work with ICE to explore criminal charges under the federal arson statute. DA Gonzalez saying today this case belongs in state court.
Very simply, state law is more significant in this case. You're looking at more time. In this particular case, the heinous nature of this case, I believe that the maximum penalty should be imposed, and currently that would be in state court.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that is, what happened to the lady there. Now, the lady was asleep on the subway platform. She was homeless. The lady, from the picture I saw of her, is like, I think, a high school picture of the lady. She was, definitely Caucasian. So this lady was sleeping, minding her own business. She's homeless. And this, illegal migrant comes in, and he decides to douse her with some sort of fuel and light her on fire. And he sat there. It was on video. He sat there and just watched her burn. On top of that, NYPD was passing by, saw what was going on, and a lot of them passed by and watched too. So that was very, very interesting, right? But New York spends billions of dollars on the police over there. But once again, this guy, clearly from what the brother said, that he wasn't all there. And these are the people that the Biden-Harris administration allowed into this country. And I'm going to repeat this again. We're going to be dealing with these issues for a long while, even after they get out of office. But one thing we can say, aren't you glad that Vice President Kamala Harris did not win the election? Because if she would have won the election, ladies and gentlemen, we would have had more and more people coming in, because that's really what she wanted to do. And the Democrats, what they really wanted to do. Now, we know about the argument about the H-1B visa with Trump and Vivek and all that, stuff going on, Elon Musk. But the H-1B is like for high skilled. The Democrats want to bring in low skill labor. Now, let me tell you what that means. So during the Christmas holiday, I didn't really cook much because we were just running around so much. So I did something I ain't really done in almost a year. I went to a couple of fast food places, right? I said, let me see what's on the menu I can get from this place. I just don't eat fast food like that. And when I went into these places, it didn't matter. I went to a couple of them, right? Because, I didn't eat all day. We didn't eat all day, so we picked up something. I went into, I think, not a McDonald's. I think it was a Wendy's. And, you normally will see some FBAs working in some of those places, sometimes all FBAs. And no. And the people who are working there, they're immigrants and they all got accents. It's not like they're first generation or something like that, right? You go to a place like Taco Bell. I used to see a lot of FBAs in those places. I've even been to Popeyes a couple of months ago, and I thought it was strange there was no FBAs in Popeyes. And then when I saw a video on TikTok, and a sister would say, hey, where are the black people at? Why are black people not in Popeyes? Because there was a given. If you wasn't going to see black people anywhere, you going to see black people working at Popeyes. Is it just where I'm from? Because for sure, Popeyes, you going to see black people. You will see black people in KFC, places like that. You don't even see black people anymore working fast food. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but are black people still applying for fast food jobs? Because it's kind of quite a coincidence that the majority of these jobs now are being done by immigrants, and you could tell they just got here based on their accent. They're not first generation, second generation. They just got here. Has the FBAs been shut out of fast food jobs? Like, has that happened? Because it's looking like it to me. It's looking like it to me. Now, I'm not saying that we should be eating fast food. Well, because that stuff is not good for nobody to be consuming on a daily basis. But I'm talking about the aspect of a job. I don't see FBAs working certain jobs anymore that I used to see FBAs working. Now, some of you may say, well, them jobs don't pay a whole lot, Phil, and this and that and the third. Well, I'm not saying you stay in a fast food job, but what if you do stay there? Eventually you want to become a manager, and eventually you learn the business and you want to own your own franchise. Some people want to do that. And some people make a lot of money doing that, right? But what I'm saying is I don't see FBAs in these jobs anymore. Okay, y'all asked me about certain videos. I haven't seen them. I mean, y'all can send them to me. I haven't seen them. But I don't see them. Okay, so if it's fast food, you're not seeing black people. Then it won't be long, because I know you see black people working at the movie theater and stuff like that. It won't be long. That's going to be dominated. Now, probably L.A. is already dominated, because there's been a lot of reports out of L.A. is that those companies in California, especially Southern California, they don't like to hire FBAs. They hire nothing but migrants to do the jobs. And I know why they're doing it. One, they could treat them any kind of way. They can really treat those migrants any kind of way. They could make them work unsafe. They could talk to them any kind of way. They can make them work long hours, longer than they want to, right? Because they really don't have the rights that me and you would have. Even though they do have some rights, but they know they don't want to say nothing because that employer can call ICE on them. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to do whatever. So they definitely don't want to hire FBAs, so we definitely vocal. We're not going to let you just treat us any kind of way. We already was on the plantation 250 years. We're not going back on it. Sorry. But, like Kamala say, we're not going back. That's one thing I can say, agree with Kamala on. When it comes to slavery and all that, we're not going back. That ain't happening. If anybody going to go into slavery, it's going to be the people that put us in slavery. It's not going to be us. You understand what I'm saying? You better believe that. Because life is a complete circle. All of the things you've done to other people, you think it's not going to eventually get done to you? You can't put people in slavery. You can't colonize people. You can't steal people's resources. You can't take out people's leaders. You can't, constantly cause calamity all over the world and think the day won't come where all is going to fall back on you. I mean, didn't the Bible teach that whatever you sow, you shall reap? And you're starting to see the reaping, today. You're starting to see it. Like, trust me, as we go along in the world, as black people globally, we are good. We don't have to do nothing but sit back, watch, and just do this. We don't have to do nothing. We didn't done enough. We didn't said enough. We have fought for America. We have fought for this country in every way, shape, or form. We fought for this country. We try to speak the moral compass of America. We told America how to be. We have been peaceful, like Dr. King. They take a peaceful man's life. when you have a man like Malcolm X that just say, hey, we just need to defend ourselves. Not starting nothing with nobody, but defend ourselves by any means necessary. And you want to take his life, right? You want to take the brother's life. Just because that brother was saying, hey, man, we just need to go ahead on and separate over here. Didn't say oppress, didn't say steal, didn't say harm. Just go over here and do our own thing. You know, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, we just need to do our own thing. No, that was wrong, right? Every time we had a leader that's trying to teach about civil rights, human rights, was being, trying to be great people that would make America great, these people took them out. This is why I keep preaching to y'all that you would never get a Martin Luther King, Malcolm X figure ever again. You would never get even a Louis Farrakhan ever again. It won't happen because God himself have given us great men and women that has came before us. And even in our community, we don't need another one, because if you take the messages they gave us even back then and bring it up to now, we can get somewhere. What more needs to be said? Mr. Farrakhan said enough. What more really needs to be said? Now, talking has been done. Now you have to apply. You have to apply what they said. Dr. Claude Anderson warned us a long time ago about all this immigration. He warned us. And I say we as a collective, we didn't listen. We shunned Dr. Anderson. You got some black people that would say when Dr. Anderson was talking, oh, he's radical. What is he talking about? Man, it's black and brown and this and that and the third. And Dr. Anderson was warning you, no, it's not no black and brown, is you going to get shut out because this system wants to make sure to put somebody above you that's not you, because this system cannot work without anti-black racism. It's not to say they're going to treat them 1,000 times better. They're not. But they're going to give them just a little bit better treatment than they would give FBAs. Dr. Anderson told us what we need to do politically, economically, and now what he said is making more sense now. But what if we would have listened as a collective of people about immigration long time ago? Jesse Jackson and all them out there on the border talking about immigration. How many black people, black leaders talked about immigration? Oh, we this, that, black and brown, all of that. And now you see what Dr. Anderson said is to be true. Even Dr. Anderson don't need to say nothing no more. The brother's up in age. He didn't say everything that needed to be said. He didn't wrote enough books that's still even relevant to this day. What more needs to be said to FBAs? What more? I think talking in some instances is a waste of time. It's now you need to get to doing. That's really what that's about. You can give somebody an education all day long, but until they apply that education, until they apply it, it doesn't do no good, right? We have supported the Democrat Party, even though we knew the Democrat Party. And I say we as a collective. I'm not talking about you as an individual, but we as black people have supported the Democrat Party wholesale. And the Democrat Party has prioritized illegal foreign nationals over the FBAs, who was their base. FBAs have been voting a hardcore wholesale for the Democrat Party, and even the Democrat Party has never showed you any kind of appreciation. They have never done right by you. And the little bit that you're asking for, the little bit, listen, the anti-black hate crime bill don't cost them a thing. It really don't. Reparations, it will cost. But an anti-black hate crime bill, but see, this is the deal with the Democrats and why they don't want to do an anti-black hate crime bill. The Democrats are just as much dedicated to racism, white supremacy than the Republicans. They both agree on maintaining white supremacy. Both of them. Now one of them is righteous on that. And the Democrats know if we give black Americans an anti-black hate crime bill, then a lot of us is going to be mass incarcerated because those laws can be used to mass incarcerate their own. And they don't want to mass incarcerate their own because they know their own can't help themselves but try to attack black folk. That's why they don't want to do it. And then you got silly individuals like Boule Martin to say we already have a hate crime bill on the book. No, we don't. Not specifically for us. No, we don't. But see, people like Boule Martin, you have to understand they're compromised. People like Boule Martin work for white supremacy on the left. He's heavily paid, as we know, $350,000. Al Sharpton, $500,000. They're paid to get us to think we're getting somewhere, but all we're doing is going with the left-wing version of white supremacy. Makes sense? We understand the right wing is white supremacy too, but the left wing act like they're your friend. The left wing will let you participate in racism, white supremacy. They will give you a position, but if you pay attention to the people they give a position to, they're never solid people. It's something with them that's not right. They have to meet certain criteria. And if a black person get out of line with them, look how quick they get rid of them. Jamal Bowman got out of line, and he's out of there. Cori Bush got out of line. She's out of there. Understand? If you get out of line with them, they don't support black people. They believe black people need to just do what they told. Don't be uppity. You can go wag your finger at other black folk, but you better not come over here and say nothing about us. You remember the Democrats is the original plantation owners. The original Ku Klux Klan is the Democrats. And the irony of us being hardcore Democrat is just crazy. If our ancestors could come back and see that black folks have been voting Democrat, they were like, what are y'all doing? That's what they would ask. Because our ancestors were Republicans in that time period. I'm just telling you just American history. Now, I'm a firm believer. We don't need to join no political party, no Democrat, no Republican. We need to look out for our interest. We need to look out for laws that benefit us as FBAs, whether it's a law individually or a law that's going to benefit everybody, but we benefit a lot out of that particular law, then we need to look into it, right? And yes, Trump did warn about the type of migrants that the Biden-Harris administration allowed into this country to do some very, very, some horrible things. And we're seeing these crimes happen all the time. We have enough people committing crimes in the United States of America. We don't need people being imported in here to commit crimes. Make sense? Now, let's look at something else I want to show y'all. Let me get to that. Where is it at? Okay, hold on. Let's jump to, because of all of this, homelessness. Let's see if we can run through this real quick. We got a time schedule. Now, this is out of the Latin Times. It said record homelessness in the U.S. blamed on migrant crisis. So it said 2024 saw an 18% increase in the unsheltered population, the largest year-over-year jump since the Housing and Urban Development HUD began tracking homelessness in 2007. So this is a testament of your Biden-Harris administration have increased homelessness by 18%. Now, it's saying here, a record number of people within the United States face homelessness in 2024, with the increased migrant population reportedly contributing to the surge. So they let a bunch of people in here and just don't have a place to really put them all. Okay, they say over 770,000 individuals were counted as homeless on a single night, according to a report by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. This marks an 18% increase in unsheltered population. The largest year-over-year jump since HUD tracked homeless in 2007. Say HUD data identified a growing number of migrants sent to sanctuary cities such as New York, Chicago, and Denver as a factor in the double-digit increase. Say Texas Governor Greg Abbott's relocation program has brought thousands of immigrants and asylum seekers to these cities, exacerbating existing housing shortages. Well, let's tell it why did he do that? He only sent them to sanctuary cities. If you wasn't a sanctuary city, and matter of fact, Greg Abbott even said, if you rescind your sanctuary city status, I won't send them your way no more. But as long as you're a sanctuary city, I got people for you. That's what he said. They're not going to hang out here in Texas no more. He said that because he said Biden want to keep flooding the country. He said, well, I'm going to send them to the sanctuary cities. And you know what? I don't have a problem with my governor doing that. I really don't. Now, say the report highlighted a significant rise in Hispanic homelessness, which increased 1/3 in 2024, with unsheltered Latinos experiencing homelessness at twice the national average. Family homelessness also saw a sharp 39% uptick over the past year. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the testament of the Biden-Harris administration. We dodged a major catastrophe by not letting Kamala in office. It said efforts to address the crisis have been hindered by challenges in securing work permits for migrants, leaving many to secure stable housing despite legal employment opportunities. It said immigration attorney Rolando Vasquez noted that competition for low-paying jobs remains a significant barrier for migrants. It says the immigration status within unsheltered communities is not tracked by city officials. The exact extent to which migration contributes remain unclear. So other factors contributing to the crisis include expiration of pandemic-era housing protections, lack of affordable housing, and insufficient shelter capacity. Migrants in cities like Chicago have resorted to living in police station lobbies and tent encampments as city-run shelters reach capacity or implemented time limits on stays. Now, so of course, they talk about New York City, has initiated closure of tent encampments. Eric Adams stated they were illegal in detriment of public space. Chicago has, in his new arrivals mission with the start of this new year, has announced a plan to shutter migrant shelters and integrate them into the city's broader housing programs. Now, last time I was in Chicago, which was a little while ago, and when me and my wife was there, we saw migrants on the streets. We saw them. And I'm like, okay, you flood the country full of migrants, Biden, Harris, and you have no way for them? Like, think about that. You allowed it. Because remember, when Biden got in, he got rid of Remain in Mexico. He got rid of that. And when he got rid of that, it opened up the floodgate for everybody to come on in. And so if you live in New York City, they came to you. If you live in Chicago, you live in Denver, they came to you. We know L.A. been a city they've been flooding to, right? And that FBAs are so outnumbered in L.A. right now, it's ridiculous. And that's why those migrants are hostile, because they know that they got the numbers over there. And even your so-called black politicians like a Maxine Waters, do you know her district? I saw the population of her district. The reason Maxine Waters don't do nothing for FBAs is because in her district, she only has 776,000, somewhere around there, FBAs. And she has 4.6 million Latino constituents in her district. So whether they illegal, first generation, whatever, they outnumber FBAs. So now you see why Maxine Waters don't do nothing for FBAs. You look at a Karen Bass. She's another one, ladies and gentlemen. She don't do nothing for FBAs either. Well, she didn't do nothing for FBAs in Congress. She going to prioritize everybody else in LA except FBAs. So you have some black politicians, they normally don't work for black people, but they really not going to work for black people in those locations where we have no numbers. We had a lot of numbers in LA. Oh, yes, we did. Black LA was huge. But slowly but surely, the policies that they put in LA ran black people out. You talking about gentrification. Gentrification was done with immigration. Because, a lot of times you talk about gentrification, you talking about the folks coming in. No. They also do a form of gentrification by getting you out and replacing you with a bunch of migrants. That's the other part of the gentrification that a lot of you not talking about. And LA is a beautiful case study on them doing that. And trust me, they want to do that too in Chicago. That's why I tell black people, stand up and fight. You better stand up and fight or you will lose Chicago. You will lose it. Anywhere we have some sort of numbers, they want to do the same thing. Look to LA black people. Say, do you want your city to turn into Los Angeles, California? You say, I think not. Well, then do something about it now. The Brandon Johnsons of the world, you need to register to vote and go vote their behind out when it's time. You cannot have a Brandon Johnson or anybody like him in your city council, being an alderman or a city council man or woman. You can't have them as a mayor. You can't have them as anything. If you're sitting up here prioritizing people as waving foreign flags, then you need to go. Period. Because you're clearly not for, America first, right? You're not. Now, on top of that, let me check out another article I want to show y'all real quick. And it's just interesting. Very, very interesting. This is about the taxpayers in New York. So they say the migrant crisis spurred nearly 3 million overtime hours for 2 NYC agencies, costing taxpayers $139 million. Remember, these overtime hours was not put in to help the residents of New York City. This was spent on overtime hours for the Biden-Harris migrant crisis. So they say the New York City's biggest overtime hogs for the second straight year are mostly rank and file workers responsible for tackling the Big Apple's $6 billion plus migrant crisis. See, $6 billion. They say 51 of the 100 city employees who racked up the most OT during the fiscal year ending June 30th work at the Department of Social Services and Homeless Services. Here we go about the homeless again, man. We just talked about that. It's saying their duties include assisting migrants and examination of city payroll records. They say each worker accumulated 1,851 hours of extra pay. It's all overtime. Now this brother here, look at him. Talking about Cash Wayne Burnett, a DSS bookkeeper, clocked 3303 overtime hours, the most of any city worker. Boy, Cash Wayne over here. Look at Cash Wayne, man. Cash Wayne sound like me, man. Look, I work jobs, and they told me, Phil, you can work all overtime you want. I had a few. And I said, okay, so I can work 84 hours a week? Yeah, you want to. Man, I was working 84 hours a week one time for about a good year and a half. I was like your boy Cash Wayne over here. Shout out to Cash Wayne. Get your money, Cash Wayne. I ain't mad at you, bro. So you said leading the way, it was Cash Wayne Burnett, a DSS bookkeeper, worked 3303 hours of overtime in the Manhattan office. It comes to roughly 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. Boy, that's my man, Cash Wayne. He getting that bag. Comes 14 hours, 7 days a week. Say the 10-year veteran earned $64,760 in overtime pay, more than tripled his $60,445 base salary. Man, shout out to him, man. He getting his bag. This dude that made over $100,000 in overtime. Wow. You say Bardon Pajus, I guess, a DSSK worker, second 3137 extra hours. Followed by Gavin Maakali. It's a DHS housekeeper who clocked 2664 hours of OT. So even a housekeeper is getting it in. Boy, everybody getting the bag. It's in the previous fiscal year, 47 employees of both departments were among the 100 who worked the most OT, a leap from the fiscal 2022, and only 3 workers made the list. So the migrant crisis has been a major drain on all municipal services, but the DSS and DHS overtime hours and payouts are absolutely staggering, according to City Councilman Robert Holden. They say we simply can't continue down this path. It has to end, and taxpayers are sick of it. Well, if they were sick, hold on, bro. If they are sick of it. So in the sanctuary city status, and Cash Wayne won't make $100,000 in overtime. That's really what that is. That's on you, sir. It's a DHS and DSS staffers have been especially stretched thin by the more than 226,900 asylum seekers and other border officers who created the Big Apple since they reached Big Apple since 2022, and many have seen their workloads soar because of it. As of Friday, it said the migrant crisis tab was $6.5 billion, and 53,800 migrants were still in city care and taxpayer-funded shelters as of December 15th. So out of $6.5 billion, that could really help out a lot of people. And yet it went all to people who are illegal foreign nationals that decided to come over here because they say they want a better life. But what about our life in America? We want a better life too. Why our resources got to be taken to give you a better life? You should do that in your homeland. I said both agencies in fiscal 2024 racked up a jaw-dropping 2.9 million hours of overtime combined, totaling 139.4 million in payouts. Wow. It increased 10% from fiscal 2023. Okay, so this is the thing. And I'm gonna keep giving a shout out to brother Cash Wayne over there. Man, Cash Wayne probably bought him all kind of things with that extra $100,000. And get it. If you got a city job and they let you get overtime, it ain't no reason you to be broke. I'll tell you that much. There's no reason for you to be broke. I was a firm believer of that on any job I ever worked. If they allow me to get overtime, I'm getting it. Because this all the job I got, and what's the point of sitting at home broke? I'm a firm believer of that. Sitting at home broke, or go to work and get some, make some overtime and get some money, and like some people do, is they say, you know what? Especially if you're a single man, like you ain't got no woman, no kids, no nothing. Like, bruh, there's no reason for me to be home. I'm not even trying to date none of these women. You know what? For a year, I'm gonna just work, and I'm gonna just, stack my bread. I'm not gonna spend no money. And I know many dudes that stacked up $50,000, $100,000 in their bank, or done that for a year and then turned around and bought them a house. You know what I'm saying? Or buying cars cash and all that stuff because they're like, man, I don't want to pay no notes. I'm gonna go ahead and buy my car cash. I'm gonna work some overtime. You know what I'm saying? Especially you a man and got no woman, no kids. Yeah, get that bag. And if you got a woman, y'all discuss it, like, hey, I'm gonna work so much overtime for this time, but make sure if you do it, let's tell you from experience, make sure that you still have your date night. Don't neglect date night to go work overtime. If you work 6 days a week, give your wife, your lady, one of them days and y'all spend time with each other. At the same time, you gotta spend time with them kids too, if you got kids. So it has to be a certain time period. But, yeah, I'm a firm believer of that, and I did plenty of that in my day. Oh, man. I did plenty of that. Keith, you say 16 hours a day plus bonuses? Yeah. 120 hours a week? Yeah, y'all can keep them 120s. Yeah, that's a little too much. And let me tell you something else about working 120 hours a week. I'm going to tell you this much. Once you get over 60 hours, you're really giving it back to the government. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Because I worked 80 some hours a week and all that, and I look at how much the government takes out of your check. It's like the moment you get over 60 hours, they take a lot out. So beyond with you keep more money in your pocket if you work 60 hours a week than the 84 or even the 120. I guess if you're getting big bonuses, I guess. But I just have a thing about giving the government all my money like that. Oh, man. Because I'm the one, listen, when I was making that 84 hours deal, I'm out. I'm the one that left my house. I'm the one working at this plant. Shoot, man, I want to get that mess up to the doggone government for what? Shoot, Trump talking about America made more money when they was doing tariffs before they switched to income tax. I mean, you know what? Well, man, let everything go back to tariffs then. Shoot, I believe we shouldn't be having to pay no taxes like that. Coming out of our check. I mean, not the way they do it, I'm going to say. I prefer a flat tax. I'm a firm believer. I prefer a flat tax that everything we buy, it has a tax to it. That means nobody can escape taxes. That means nobody can cheat on taxes. Everybody would pay based off of what you buy. No matter what it is, it has a tax to it, right? And that way you ain't got to worry about filing no taxes, all that mess. And it's just crazy. I like flat tax. I'm a firm believer of that. They say, oh, well, that would hurt the poor if they do a flat tax and this and that and the third. They're being taxed even now. The only difference is you get a refund. That's the only thing you'll get. But they're still being taxed. It's not like because you say somebody's poor, they're not being taxed. You're still paying sales tax if you're poor. You're still paying vehicle registration. That's a tax. Inspection, that's a tax that you pay on your vehicle, right? The poor is still paying taxes when they pay their car insurance, when they pay their light bill. Every bill you have in your state has some sort of sales tax. So the poor is still paying taxes to this day. What are you talking about? Like they exempt from taxes. Yeah. Positively positive. We all hate that. Having to file that tax, and then if you don't file it, you're gonna get in the world trouble, and it's a mess. You're talking about tolls. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, paying tolls. Yeah, it's a taxpayer-funded highway, but yet they're charging us tolls to run on the roads that our tax dollars paid for. And then check this out: you have more cops on the toll roads or constables on the toll roads than you have on the other roads. You would think it'll be less police on the toll road than the roads where people aren't paying for. You think it'd be more cops over there because you have more cars going that way. But that's the crazy part. I've been on a Beltway 8 and I've seen Harris County Sheriff here, there. You get on Fort Bend toll, you see the Fort Bend County Sheriff. Wherever you at, you seeing all these different people on the toll road, but you never see them on 45. You never see them on 59. You don't really see them on 610 like that. Think about it. You don't. Yeah. Flat tax. I support a flat tax completely. Tax everything. Nobody miss out on taxes. I gladly pay a flat tax. I gladly pay an extra money on top of the tax for everybody to have free health care. I pay for it. I'm glad to pay for that. Everybody can have free health care. I'm cool with that. But even your Democrats don't want a flat tax. They don't want that. Oh, no, that's going to only benefit the rich, a flat tax. Well, if the rich are buying more expensive things, then they're going to pay a higher tax. Don't you think? But these people are so silly. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we're going to be dealing with the migrant crisis for a long time. Now, we know Trump will be coming in office here shortly. We're already in January. It's coming up very, very fast. So we want to see, he said on day one, they're going to start doing some deportations. Well, I'm here for it. I want to cover all the deportation news and see what's going to happen on that. We know the Democrats going to be trying to be obstructionist, against that. But come on, Biden and them imported these people here to be homeless. Some of these people weren't homeless in their homeland. Number one, that's not right. Why would you import people here to be homeless when we have enough homeless FBAs all over this country, and you're going to stack more people on top of that? Man, I mean, the majority of people who are homeless in this country are FBAs. It's sad. And in these major cities, they have all this money they're wasting, $6.5 billion on the migrants. That could have been spent on the homeless population in New York City. Straight up. Well, I tell you what, they should. You talking about to get rewards? Yeah, I tell you what, if they offer a reward nationwide and say, hey, you turn somebody in and they actually get deported, you get X amount of dollars. Man, either they told somebody we give you $100 or $500, something. Oh, people be calling. Hey, man, I know right where they at. Am I gonna get my $100? I'll turn them in because, man, that'll be a job for me. I know people do that. They'll say that. That's my job. Shoot, I'm turning people in. I'm getting my check once a month. Oh, man. You say black people shouldn't pay taxes? I agree with you. I'm a firm believer of this. If they say black people are exempt from taxes as part of a reparations package, I'll take that any day of the week. We should be exempt from taxes. We should. Just like the so-called Native American, we should be exempt too. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on the stream tonight. Really appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. It's very, very important. It's free. It helps spread things in the algorithm. And just a reminder, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be streaming on the African Diaspora News Channel app. So make sure to join us on the app tomorrow night. And we're going to get into, a topic that is, too hot for YouTube or we can't say certain things, on YouTube, and that's fine. We won't. But we'll be talking about some interesting topics tomorrow on the app. So thank y'all for listening. We'll check you on the next one.